11 seconds left in the first half. Inside the 7-footers, Gasol and Kaman. Kobe is out there with Red Hot, and it's Young in at the 3 slot. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. Here's Kobe. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Los Angeles on top, just dominating this one. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
The weekend is in full swing on a Saturday night. Glad to have you along with us. Out in Indiana, the Pacers are in front against the Celtics about midway through the third out there. And the other game's still underway. The Toronto Raptors are trailing Washington out in Washington. Big deficit to make up for them in the second half. That's it for us here in the studio. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we resume, a beautiful nighttime view of Los Angeles, and in blue there, our venue, the Staples Center.
Really an extraordinary game for Red Hot. And talk about the 3-ball for him. Wow, unbelievable from long distance.
Yeah, you are right, Clark. I mean, it's been fireworks from deep. He's just so dangerous out there.
Looking at the last game for Milwaukee, it was a loss to the Kings in Sacramento.
It was not a very inspired performance for them, particularly defensively. I thought they gave the hostile crowd a lot to cheer about, frankly.
Yeah, they allowed a lot of free runs to the hoop, a lot of open jumpers, and in the end, the opponent's shooting percentage was right through the roof, and you can't win when that's the case.
Getting underway in the second half, here's the 5 for Larry Drew. Delfino and Ilyasova, the forwards. Brandon Knight is out there with Mayo, and it's Sanders in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
In many ways, the Lakers had what would be called the nightmare season in 12-13. Despite that, they protected Staples. Playing in front of the Hollywood Stars has always been an energy boost for the Lakers, and they made the most of it even though they struggled away from home.
Kobe with the steal. The dish to Gasol. Here's Red Hot, and the bucket counts. And his eyes way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Well, his body control is what I notice. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play. Even with the defender draped all over, he's able to find a way to get to the rim and get the shot to go in.
And I know nothing fires him up more than a huge jam right in the face of an opponent. I mean, those facials get him going. Don't discount how that can deflate the defender and the other team, too.
And Clark, as you said with the Lakers, very good at home last season in what would be one of their very few bright spots on the year. They go 29-12 in Staples Center, which Steve put them in the top third of the league for home wins.
Well, Kevin, when you come into Staples as a visitor for a Lakers game, there really is a kind of a different feel. I mean, if you're the opponent, you look up at all those banners, you look over at all the celebrities on the side, that theater lighting. It's a pretty cool spot, and teams sometimes, I think, can kind of get carried away.
Well, it was the Los Angeles Lakers winning their last game against the Magic.
It was an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it was on the road. No question, by the way, that it was their offense that carried them.
Steve, I love the way they attacked at every opportunity. They never were on their heels, and eventually that allowed them to pull away.
Ilyasova can't hit.
Such a solid performance for them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today. Well, a big new contract, guys, for Ersan Ilyasova going into last season, and he terrified everybody in Milwaukee with a terrible start, but regained his confidence in January and finished the season strong.
Milwaukee's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13. And now here comes Young leading the ball. Look out!
Impressive play there, and they have been really good offensively.
Piling up the points en route to this big lead, guys. I mean, they've been unstoppable.
And it's the Lakers on the break. Here's
This is getting ridiculous. They can't possibly keep this run going much longer.
I tell you what, Steve, it's already lasted longer than I thought possible.
just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Another steal. And it's the Lakers on the break. Trips down the breakaway slam.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yes, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Well, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And here's Mayo from the arc. That's good. Mayo's got 5 points now this quarter.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Here's Red Hot, and there's another one for the Lakers.
They don't need much of anything else the way he's scoring the ball out there.
Another steal.
Are you kidding me? That was a power punch right there.
Great. He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
that could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Clark. That's a crowd pleaser if I've ever seen one.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Knocked loose and out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. Here is the 2K leaderboard with the list of last season's top three-point shooters. You take a look at Ilyasova, a dangerous player from three-point land, a great talent with a great release. And, of course, Steve Nash doing just as much. Another sniper will hurt you from three-point land.
Tell you what shooting we saw from those guys last season. I mean, they were draining shots from everywhere. Just seemed to be on a roll all year.
Gets it to go.
He has really punished these defenders today. No matter who's been on him, he's been giving them medicine.
Sanders passes to Knight, kicks it to Ilyasova. Bucks passing it around. Outside Delfino. Here's Sanders. Rebounded by the Lakers. They're getting their first look of the season at the Bucks in this one.
Yeah, and you look back to last year, these two teams were very evenly matched. They split the two games that they played.
Now, here is Young. Kobe, he's guarded by Knight. Red hot. That's good. And it's Kobe with the assist. Kobe's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
I don't think they can ask much more than what he's done this quarter.
Knight with it. Picked up by Kobe. And it's the Lakers on the break. Here's Red Hot. And another basket for the Lakers. Going back for a second to your comment, Steve, in the standoff these teams played to last year, it may have been an indicator of how closely matched the teams in the middle of both conferences were.
Well, we know these two teams were certainly closely matched.
Here's Delfino after the made shot from Red Hot. And the Bucks miss again.
And they needed that hoop to try to stop this run.
They just seem to keep coming up empty. They've got to slow it down and get a good shot.
Feeds to Kobe. Outside Gasol. Young, right side. The pass to Kaman. Defended by Delfino. Kaman's shot is good.
Oh, man, they are just putting the hammer down right now.
Defensively and offensively, it has all been working for him today.
Kobe with the steal. And it's the Lakers on the break. Rejected by Mayo. Now, here is Knight. He's got 9. Only one man back on D. Here's Red Hot. Pushes it down to finish the break. And, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Lakers.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive. Attacking and coming away with steals.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnover.
Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
Oh, man, that was a circus dunk.
Surprisingly, the Bucks were one of the better teams from the East against the West last season, 14-16, which was better than most teams in the East, and part of why they were able to make it into the playoffs. Rising up and punching it over the big man. Absolutely filthy.
Another steal. And it's the Lakers on the break. And Kobe throws it down.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
Well, back to the Bucks. With their small backcourt, they could have nights where they could just run teams to death, and they were able to take advantage of a few teams like that.
Well, the main thing is that they weren't afraid of anyone. Ellis and Jennings would just try to run the ball down your throat. But in the end, it wasn't a combination that the Bucks felt confident with, and that's why they were willing to let Ellis and Jennings go. I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
Here's Delfino. 5 points in the game.
Ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
His finishes can be dazzling, especially Clark at his side.
Well, you look at a guy who doesn't have the height of some other big-time dunkers, and it always looks better, and he certainly makes up for the lack of height with that athleticism.
Yeah, his leaping ability is just off the charts, guys.
There's 38 seconds left in the third. Shot to stop the run. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
Well, they've done a lot of things right, but I agree with you, Clark. Their rebounding is right there at the top of the list.
The shot's good from Red Hot.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
Get him! Get him now!
Poked away.
Look at me!
Passes it to Sanders. He feeds it to Ilyasova. It's O.J. Mayo on the way.
Yo, someone help me out!
He got it out. No good trying to beat the buzzer. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Los Angeles on top, delivering the blowout. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports.
Spend Turkey Day with the NBA. Rajon Rondo.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. And here is Los Angeles now. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. 4th quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So for the Lakers right now, inside the 7-footers, Gasol and Kaman. Kobe is out there with Red Hot, and it's Young in at the small forward.
And Kevin, what I like about him is that he tends to get hot at the most opportune times. It doesn't matter if it's coming out of a halftime or out of a timeout. He just has a knack for heating up in a hurry.
And he's also one of those guys who just seems to be able to take it up a few notches when there's a game to be won late in the 4th quarter. In other words, he's at his best at winning time.
Kaman's shot is good.
The defenders have to be aware. They cannot allow him that position before he catches the ball.
You're exactly right, Steve. That is his domain.
Poke loose. And here's the fast break. Here's Kobe, and there's the lay-in. Kobe's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Defensively, I think they've got to do a better job of bodying him up.
Yeah, they're getting outclassed in the paint at both ends, really.
Here's Red Hot. Throws down the breakaway jam.
This is getting ridiculous. They can't possibly keep this run going much longer.
I tell you what, Steve, it's already lasted longer than I thought possible.
And Walters kicks to Ridnour. Pass to Walters. To stop the run. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Boy, that was impressive, Clark. He did not hesitate to take the ball right up against the bigger defender.
Boy, I like that aggressive mindset there, Steve.
Baseline J on the way. That's good.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Kaman inside. It's a rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Kobe doing a great job being a playmaker on that one.
The Bucks shooting 43% for the game. And it's the Lakers on the break. Kobe's running and finished off by Kaman.
I like the way they've played here in the first half. Just an intelligent floor game, getting good shots.
Numbers certainly back that up. They're shooting a much better percentage.
And Walters kicks it to Ridnour. Drills it from outside.
Seems like guarding him on the perimeter is not a priority for this defense, but it will become one if he continues to knock them down.
Back to Young. And the pass to Red Hot. And again, it's the Lakers.
Now he's playing with an edge here, playing extremely well offensively here in the second half.
Walters passes to Henson. Neal, the Bucks working the ball around. From past the arc. Rebounded by the Lakers. Gasol's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
And in the paint, they have really shown some strength. Their work on the boards has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd certainly call it a mismatch, Steve, at least for today.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Ridnour from outside. Good. Ridnour's got 6 here in this quarter.
Right back at you. They immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading punches, that's how you answer.
Here's Red Hot. Out to Kobe. He passes it to Red Hot. Tries again. And there's another one for the Lakers. Milwaukee has gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Ridnour dishes to Pachulia. And Walters kicks to Neal. No good from the wing.
I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
Red Hot the pass to Kaman. Red Hot, he's guarded by Ridnour. Gasol drives in, and he dunks it down.
That's decent defensive work, but it's going to take a little more than that, Kevin. They got to raise their bar.
Well, Clark, he knew exactly how to attack him.
Yeah, he sure did. He knew exactly what he wanted to do there.
What a phenomenal dunk, though. I mean, in the end, he just made the play and took off.
Chance now to check out the schedule for Milwaukee. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Here's Walters. Dishes it to Neal. There's the 3.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
He's a grinder. Love what he does under the offensive boards, really bringing energy and life to his team.
Here's Red Hot. Oh, that's blocked. And that's out of bounds. The Lakers will retain possession. Udo's checked in for the Bucks. Ishmael Smith comes in for Walters. Kobe dishes to Kaman. Red Hot.
Stay on here.
And again, it's the Lakers.
And his shots are dropping right now. This quarter has been very kind to him.
Another steal. There's the block. Now Smith. It's good from the top of the key. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
What an offensive performance it's been.
Here's Red Hot. It's Kobe Bryant on the wing. Lock at 6. And he's good on the 3-ball.
He's a big reason why they have the lead right now. He's made all of his field goal attempts thus far and remains hot from the floor.
And there's the feed to Neal. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Here's Red Hot. Drops it in from 14 feet away.
Boy, that mid-range jumper is a beautiful thing to have in your bag, and they've had it going today.
Yeah, but look down at the other end of the court, and the same has not held true. This game's over, guys. I think we can say that with certainty.
Yeah, I agree with you there. We have officially reached garbage time.
Smith drives in. And it's Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got 8 rebounds in this game. Out of bounds, Milwaukee takes possession.
Now, severe lack of awareness on his part. He had no idea he was near the out-of-bounds line.
Milwaukee's gotten 3 of their 6 3-pointers to fall here in the 4th. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. .112 left in the 4th quarter of this one. Smith kicks to Neal. Kobe comes with the double team. He dishes it to Pachulia. 4 on the clock. Good.
He's not their first option, but not a bad fallback either.
56 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Here's Red Hot, covered by Smith. From 8. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Boy, they're extending their lead. It kind of feels like they're just piling on here as we come to an end.
Well, hey, let's just call it what it is. They are trying to run it up on them.
And another basket for Milwaukee.
Boy, if they could have had this kind of run earlier in the game, it might have made a big difference.
You know, I think a big reason behind the run, Steve, is that they're not getting pressured as much by the defense now that the game's all but finished.
Back to Kobe. Pass to Kaman. That's in, coming off an assist by Kobe.
Well, they're going to walk out of here with a win and send this crowd home happy.
A very solid performance in a lot of areas for them.
They get a hand on it. He kicks it to Henson. Back to Smith. The dish to Neal. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dream-like games for a coach.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports.
This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Welcome, fans. The NBA regular
Welcome. Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports broadcast live in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan here with you today, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Our starting lineups will look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. And one of the players we'll be seeing in this one, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, here's a guy who gives the coach the luxury of a very simple play call, which is just the ISO. Get him the ball and get out of the way, and good things are going to happen.
And you know what? He's like a tank when he's coming down the lane. Lay into him as hard as you can. You're not going to be able to knock him off balance.
Take a look at the Kings. This is a team showing a better record this year over last. This was their goal, and it's coming to fruition so far.
Well, I think for Sacramento, they've turned things around in a very good way this year. Being in the middle of the pack is a pretty good step for them.
I agree. I mean, coming into the season, there really was no pressure on this club because of the low expectations. But they've been solid. They've played hard, and they've competed. And I think they've played both ends of the floor well, and that's why they are where they are.
And the basket by Thornton. Look at the last game for Sacramento. It was a win against Milwaukee.
I thought the way they attacked the rim and got into the paint was phenomenal. It seemed like after a while, the defense just kind of waved the white flag.
That's exactly what will happen when a team continues to attack the goal and come away with layup. It demoralizes the defense. You take a look at the offense for the Kings last season. There are some things to build on here, guys. Fourth in the NBA in fast break points, top 4 in points in the paint. Those are good numbers to build your offensive foundation around.
And the shot's good from Red Hawk.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there. Oh, how about that basketball, man? Beautiful. Wow. And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Get it!
Sacramento again missing. But for the Kings, I think Coach Mike Malone will try to get them to play a little more unselfishly, Steve, especially at the offensive end.
Yeah, they had a team last year that just seemed to be jacking up shots anytime they could get one up individually. They were among the lowest in the league in assists as a team. A lot of isolation basketball. It was not pretty to watch.
Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. And Doris Burke spoke with Mike D'Antoni. Doris?
He told me he's wary about how they'll contend with DeMarcus Cousins inside. He said he's a beast in there, no doubt about it. Size, length, strength, and a ton of skill. The talent is really off the charts with him. And guys, he knows it won't be easy to muscle Cousins away from the rim, but he said that's what they've got to find a way to do. It won't be easy.
All right, Doris deflects the pass. It's stolen by Salmons. To end the run, Thomas, no good.
Offensively, 1 of 4 to start. They're still trying to find their stroke. Kaman gave up his old caveman look, guys, but he's still an intimidating presence in the post. Good size and strength and doesn't really get pushed around. Also excellent timing when it comes to shot block.
And pushing it up, here's Los Angeles. And Gasol with the dunk. And a closer look here at the hustle stat for Los Angeles.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, I do too, and I think they're also getting some good looks in transition, doing a nice job of running the floor.
And it's the Kings with the ball, following the bucket by the Lakers. And that one's good. Thomas got his first points of the night. And Chris Kaman skilled offensively. Ambidextrous, finishing inside, and a good mid-range shooter.
Yeah, I think he's really good offensively. He's got a lot of skill. He's tough to handle. The question mark with him is defensively. His weak side rotations can be late. He's never really been, a center that you kind of solidify your defense around.
And here is Thomas after the three-pointer from Red Hawk. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for.
For the finish.
Man, that was unreal. Mark it up. I I love the aggressiveness with their approach, pounding the ball inside, and it's working.
They are owning this game early. They are constantly finding lanes to the basket.
Looking at Los Angeles, they took the win in their last game against Milwaukee. Thomas goes in, and there's the feed to Cousins. Shot to stop the run, and the rebound goes to Pau Gasol.
Mike Malone, the new head coach of the Sacramento Kings, son of a former NBA coach. Mike has been credited with helping teams improve their defenses, whether it was in New Orleans with Chris Paul, last season with Golden State, but Malone very well regarded in NBA coaching circles.
For Sacramento, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field. Another steal. Gets it to go. 26 points for Red Hot.
Wow, he just keeps rolling. Unreal.
You talk about putting up points in a hurry. I mean, he's got personal spurt ability. He can't miss.
And the Sacramento team, Clark, not without offensive talent, but the defense has been their shortcoming.
And that's the area they've got to ramp up and improve. And Coach Malone is going to have an opportunity to put his stamp on this team by improving them at the defensive end of the floor.
And so it looks like the Kings will retain possession here.
And a look here at how the Lakers ranked in the NBA last season. 4th in rebounding, 6th in scoring. And they were a top 10 team in field goal shooting. Not bad for a team that's got an awful lot of young, talented players.
And this is a team that really relied most heavily on the rebounding numbers that you talked about. I mean, the top 5, they're a team that likes to attack the lane at both ends of the floor, really control the glass on defense, and try to pound you inside with the offensive boards. I don't know what's happening to their defense. I mean, they don't have any effort, any purpose.
And it's really costing them. I mean, the last 5 baskets at that end have been on very easy looks.
A platoon swap here for Sacramento. That free throw, good from Red Hot.
You know, offensively last season, guys, the Lakers just never seemed to be able to get out of their own way. I mean, they had the worst turnover ratio in the league, and they really struggled to take care of the ball.
Oh, down there. Man. They've built a big lead here early.
Both defensively and offensively. They've been terrific right from the tip.
Here's McLemore. Kicks it to Vasquez. Fires the 3. No good. And the Lakers going the other way now. This game against Sacramento is the first time they've met this year.
And looking back to last year, they won this season series, as you'd probably expect.
For Sacramento, they've gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Shots good by McLemore.
Well, when you talk about a beautiful shooting stroke, just look at Ben McLemore out of Kansas. From the ground up, sets his feet, great balance, elevation, beautiful follow-through. I just love McLemore's potential offensively.
I like his upside as well. And you talk about that stroke, it is honey sweet to look at and as efficient as a heat pump. No wasted motion or energy in that. And as he learns to play off screens and be a little more aggressive in attacking the basket, I think he's got a chance to maybe be an all-star player down the road.
Good aggressive finish on the break.
That's as easy a 2 points as you could ask for.
Sacramento's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. To touch again on Steve's comment, last year they were a playoff team facing a team that went home at the end of the regular season, and Clark, they took advantage.
Yeah, that to me is...
Hammer time! It's not possible what we just... Clark, is that possible?
Not probable, but it is possible, partner.
It's possible. Not
Holy
probable.
smokes.
It is possible. I don't know what all that meant, but you're right, Clark.
Vasquez passes to Thompson. The shot's good. Vasquez making the play. Thompson's got his first basket of the night. Here's Red Hot. And another 3 for the Lakers.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's had.
The Kings have gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. Right at the 50% mark. Here's Vasquez. Offensive rebound. There's McLemore. Second chance effort. No good on the layup.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them. Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And it's not just great offense, Clark. The defense is really lacking. Not enough energy on their closeouts.
And the shot is good. Red Hawks got 44.
You have to give them a lot of credit for the way they forced these turnovers.
Yeah, you do have to give them credit, Steve. I mean, you look up and see how many points they've converted them into, and it's a huge factor in the game right now.
.11 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Here's Outlaw to stop the run, and it's good on the layup.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
Here's Red Hot, and again Los Angeles with a triple.
The three-pointer has been his best weapon here today, no question.
The D has been all mixed up, confused, bamboozled, allowing him way too much space.
We're at the end of the first quarter, and what a blowout already in this one. Los Angeles on top, running away with it. And
Spin Turkey.
welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And Stephen Clark, Lakers are pretty much in control here.
Just the start they wanted to this game. Solid offense. They got good ball movement. They established a nice rhythm.
Yeah, not stagnant at all. Free-flowing and fluid at the offensive end.
Kings shooting at 46%, making some buckets. On the court for the Kings as the second quarter gets underway. The guards, Vasquez and McLemore. Travis Outlaw out there with Patrick Patterson. And it's Hayes in at center. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, for DeMarcus Cousins, who's so talented, controlling his temper has been an issue. He said, quote, "I get it from my mother. It's a problem I have. It helped me get where I am. But at the same time, I have to learn to be quiet and just try to have a positive mind. I'm trying to lead, just in a better way that will be accepted more. Guys, we'll see if he can turn it around."
That'll be the question. Thanks, Doris. Patterson dishes to Vasquez. 6 to shoot. Shot from 12. No good off the back of the rim.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought that was definitely automatic.
Now you talk about some of the breakout players of last season, and at the top of the list for me was Rivas Vasquez, runner-up for most improved player, 6'6" point guard, improved his shooting significantly and played with a lot of confidence for New Orleans.
McLemore, no good. Here's Los Angeles now. Good momentum, 8 straight points.
Wow, they are just red hot, guys, not missing a thing.
Sometimes you see a player get on a tear like this, Steve, but never an entire team.
He dishes it to Outlaw. Knocked away. Young with the steal. And it's the Lakers on the break. Kobe's running. Out of bounds. Sacramento takes possession. Let's give a look now at the 2K leaderboard to see who led the league in assists last year. You look at Vasquez, third in assists and a great leader.
And they made their teammates better, too, because they're willing to give the ball up. They're interested in getting other people's shots and did it in spectacular fashion, too.
And Vasquez, originally from Venezuela, Clark, and Steve, you mentioned his passing. Last season, third guys in the league in assists.
Yeah, and at 6'6", Kevin, a very good rebounder for a guard. He's not super quick, and that hurts him defensively, but he has excellent anticipation. And you can always cross-match him with some of the shorter two guards, so he's a valuable player in the backcourt.
They get a hand on it. Here's Red Hot.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
Guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Here's Landry, rejected by Kobe. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession.
Well, when it came to getting wins away from Sacramento last year, the Kings were anything but kings of the road. Only came away with 8 wins as a visiting team last year, and that puts them near the bottom of the league in win total.
Here's Red Hot, and the Lakers take on 2 more.
What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
Thomas kicks to Landry. Back to Thomas. Another steal. Here's Red Hot, and he goes in for the dunk.
This has been a one-sided game in just about every area. The lead continues to grow.
Absolutely. Their offense and their D have been equal parts outstanding.
And back to the Kings on the road for a second. That total of 8 road wins had them tied for the fewest in the entire Western Conference, Steve, along with the Suns.
It's not a surprise when a team is just bad, when they don't have an identity. There's no way you're going to be competitive on the road. They didn't defend, and they were selfish with the ball. Other than that, they were fantastic. Oh, man, he's on the highlight reel every night, and if you're guarding the rim defensively and he's coming at you, look out.
And also, he's absolutely able to do some incredible things in the air. I mean, he can look like a gymnast sometimes, twisting his body, double clutching his shot. But he maintains a smooth approach to it all.
Knocked loose. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Thomas with the ball. And here's Thornton outside. Sacramento again missing.
Their offense seems completely out of sync here. They're on the wrong end of a big run.
And then at the other end, it's been bucket after bucket after bucket, giving up a huge run here.
Thomas goes in. And there's the pass to Thornton. Pushing it up. Moving it up. Oh, and the jam by Kobe Bryant. That's not as easy as it made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary for him.
Oh, you know it. The guy can climb the ladder, can't he?
Thomas, the feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Thomas got 6.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll.
One-on-one here. Selmans passes to Thomas. Gasol kicks to Kobe. Banked in off the glass. 8 points for him.
It's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter is. Oh, look out, man!
Already shaken.
You know, as soon as that steal was made, it was over. That was going to be a bucket the whole way.
That's exactly how a turnover cost you.
Thomas goes in. Landry gets the bucket.
Good job there recognizing the mismatch and then just going straight up with the shot. He's got a major height advantage.
Here's Red Hot. And it's blocked by Selmans. Now, here's Thomas. 6 points for him. Thornton, no good.
Such a solid performance for them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
You look at Marcus Thornton out of LSU, 6'4", a scoring guard. He can really light it up in a hurry off the bench.
And pushing it out, here's Los Angeles. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. They're turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about.
Just 5 to shoot. Here's Cousins. Landry, the follow-up flush.
Was there any doubt what he was going to do with that putback? Flush it down.
Oh, that's some energy we just witnessed right there.
And that's the kind of energy you need on the offensive glass. That's the only way to get it done.
And for Thornton, a second-rounder back in 2009, his size does hurt him defensively, but you'd have to say he's exceeded expectations.
I think so, Kevin. He surprised a lot of people with his ability to provide instant offense. He is pretty locked in with tunnel vision offensively. He's myopic now at that end of the floor. He's thinking about getting the ball and scoring the ball. But in his role, I think ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
Oh, man, that was a circus dunk.
.106 left here in the second. Thomas, good.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should really continue to work it down low, Clark. That's really going to free up the rest of their offense.
Here's Kobe. Again, the Lakers.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's got it going now.
Thomas dishes to Landry. Passes it to Cousins. Thornton. The three. That's good. Thornton's got 5 now.
But you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Here's Red Hot. And the Lakers tack on 2 more.
Great shot. I mean, so difficult to get your shot on line when you're off balance like that.
Kings have gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. Gordon with it. Picked up by Kobe. Here's Thomas. Again, Thomas missing.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question. And that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead. Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
And here's the slam dunk to finish it off. His finishes can be dazzling, especially Clark at his side.
Well, you look at a guy who doesn't have the height of some other big-time dunkers, and it always looks better, and he certainly makes up for the lack of height with that athleticism.
Yeah, his leaping ability is just off the charts, guys.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Lakers ahead, just dominating this one. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's halftime, and I'm Damon Bruce, ready to bring you our halftime show. The Lakers have the lead out in Los Angeles against Sacramento. Offensively, they've been in a zone. A lot of great team play, providing looks from all over the floor. A tremendous first half for Red Hot. His shooting percentage off the charts right now. He's got the magic touch from the field, no question about it. For the Kings, a different story so far. They're the underdogs in this matchup and haven't exactly barked well. Isaiah Thomas getting it done through 2 quarters. Marcus Thornton also making huge contribution. Checking out some of the games still in progress. The Houston Rockets in front against the Jazz at Energy Solutions Arena. Not too many problems for them in the third. And another game going on. The San Antonio Spurs trailing the Nuggets out in Denver. Things are pretty close out there in the third quarter of action. And now, here's what's going on in the rest of the NBA. Over at Target Center, it's the Timberwolves trailing to Memphis. About midway through the third out there. And that'll wrap things up for me here in the studio. Second half is just around the corner. Thanks so much for stopping by.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. If you're just tuning in, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And we're ready to get going once more. And the players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight.
And what a game for Red Hot. And a ridiculous number of steals. This game is all about him right now.
He is in full domination mode, guys.
Inside the 7-footers, Gasol and Kaman. Red Hot is out there with Kobe, and it's Young in at the small forward. That's the Laker 5.
It had been half a decade since the Lakers hadn't won the Pacific Division, and their back-to-back titles included in that stretch. But it was quite the fall from grace they took as the Kings of the Pacific would end up 8-8 and third in the division a season ago.
Here's Red Hot. Non-stop scoring machine here. Young passes to Kobe. Red Hot. He's guarded by Thomas. Lakers passing it around. Kaman. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. Touching back on the Lakers in the Pacific Division, you look at the problems they had with how they played, Steve, and the way the rest of the division stacked up. You could see the problems lining up for them.
Well, the division got better, Kevin. I mean, that's the big thing. Both the Clippers and the Warriors turned out to be excellent teams. And, you know, Phoenix and Sacramento, not so much. But in the end, I mean, the Lakers really had to deal with a couple of teams that were just flat out better than them.
And it'll be Sacramento as it goes out of bounds. The Kings retain possession.
Got a chance here to check out how the Kings ranked in the NBA last season, Kevin. 10th in scoring, 11th in free throw percentage. And they were in the top half of the league shooting the ball from deep. Average to pedestrian, but still fairly effective from there.
But I think the key stat for that club last year was points per game. They were in the top 10. That was really what they tried to do. That was how they tried to establish themselves each and every game. Get out, run, get good shots, and try to outscore the opponent.
A free run to the hoop and some thunder on the finish.
Not exactly the way the D would have drawn that one.
And when you got the space, you might as well throw it down. That's what I always used to do.
Knocks it loose. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession. Hey, Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. Third is Kobe Bryant.
Now, he never took a night off. I mean, it seemed like he was scoring big all season long. Just a terrific year for him.
Here's Red Hot, and again Los Angeles with a triple.
He's doing it all for them right now on the offensive side. No matter what the defense has done, they haven't been able to find an answer to stop him, and he's had an answer for every defense he's seen.
And the jam by Carl Landry.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter.
And you look at Landry, and he does lack the size of most power forwards, but he's excellent at finishing around the goal, and it helps him keep defenders honest with a nice, reliable outside shot, too. And a blazing start to the second half. They've hit all 5 shots.
And Carl Landry's such a great knack for scoring around the rim.
He's a tough guy, a genuine tough guy. He gets the ball in the paint, and he'll go up and score with little jump shots or maybe put-back shots. Great hands, and really keeps himself in good condition.
Sacramento really had a lot of problems finding consistency game to game, and it showed up when they would have to take on other teams in the West. Just didn't look quite as cohesive and as desperate to win as the rest of the conference, and that ends up costing the game.
I love the flow that they've been playing with offensively tonight. This is an impressive performance.
Well, and that lead they have just continues to grow and grow.
Feeds to Thornton. Lots of room. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got his 3rd assist on the night.
And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, you know, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
Very true, Steve. I mean, he's also one of those guys who doesn't take long at all to get on a roll offensively. He's a fun player to watch when he gets hot.
Well, Clark, as you said, the Kings struggled against the West, really against Western teams not in their division. They would play the division tough, but didn't do much against, Steve, the other 2 Western divisions.
Well, they only won 14 games against the rest of the conference, which was the fewest of any team in the West last year. But of those 14 wins, 7 came against the Pacific. So that's kind of interesting when you look at the disparity between their wins.
And it's blocked by Landry. And here is Thornton. He's got 7. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Thornton's got 9.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Here's Red Hot. He's guarded by Thomas. Back to Gasol. It's tipped. Stolen by Landry. Here's Salmons. Some solid defense from Kobe.
Boy, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Here's Red Hot. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Thomas goes in. Landry. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Here's Red Hot. Rejected by Landry. Now Thornton. He's got 9. From outside the arc. But they get it back. Salmons kicks to Thornton. He feeds it to Thomas. Pass to Cousins. Kamen's there. Thomas dishes to Cousins. And stolen by Kamen. Kobe the pass to Gasol. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Chance to check out the Sacramento Kings' upcoming schedule. And following this game, they'll challenge the Grizzlies on the road at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Now, here's Thomas. He's guarded closer. The finish. Oh, get it! Lock out now. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for Los Angeles.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
And it's the Lakers on the break. That's good.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Dishes it to Selmans. Marcus Thornton on the wing. Good on the three-point shot. Thornton's got 12.
That's his first three-pointer of the half. Remember, he did make one in the first half as well.
And here's Kobe from the arc. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
He's a big reason why they have the lead right now. He's made all of his field goal attempts thus far and remains hot from the floor.
Thornton with it. Now defended by Red Hot.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
Launches a three. Hits the bucket.
They are killing them with that three-point shot here in the second half.
Well, the defense fully stretched out trying to stop that shot and still not able to get it done.
And here we go. Goes up. And that one is stuck right through.
Climbing the ladder for the 360. That's major bounce right there.
Yeah, Clark, he was sky high on the finish.
It was just a beautiful blend of athleticism, coordination, and confidence. You know, it seems to me Nick Young is a perfect guy to have coming off the bench because he's a volume shooter and scorer who can get hot in a hurry. But I think his best role is to play him kind of in a Jamal Crawford type role.
Another steal. Here's Red Hot. Pushes it down to finish the break.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Here's Cousins. And again, unable to change momentum here. Going back to Nick Young, Clark, mostly a score.
He sure is, Kevin, an athletic 6'7" wing. I don't think there's any reason he can't be a plus rebounder and defender, but it's clear that his focus primarily has been on the offensive end.
Thomas kicks to Landry, and that one's good. Landry's got 10 points.
Textbook right there. Nice pass, great catch, beautiful finish.
Stolen by Thomas. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Here's Thornton, and again it's Sacramento converting. Now here's Gasol. Here's Red Hot, and again it's the Lakers from deep.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Yeah, shoddy defense there. Far too slow to react on the closeouts.
Cousins dishes to Thomas. Selmans. He passes to Thornton. A 3-ball. No good.
And, you know, the rebounding edge here has been key because they're getting a lot of extra possessions offensively as a result.
Guys, you're absolutely right. It's made all the difference.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Los Angeles on top, opening up a huge gap. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything.
Well, for the Lakers last season, it seemed there was so much turmoil throughout the year. Injuries, coaching-wise, changes in the offense. And they never were able to really gain any momentum. They made a decent run at the end of the season, but that didn't carry over into the postseason when they were swept by the Lakers in the first round.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the 4th quarter. On the court for Sacramento. The guards, Vasquez and McLemore. Hayes out there at Thompson. And it's Outlaw in at the 3. Here's Los Angeles now. I think going back to D'Antoni and the Lakers, that Howard and Gasol were made more than a little disgruntled with how Clark he made use or didn't make use of them offensively.
You know, the Lakers brought in D'Antoni to try to emphasize Steve Nash and his role in the offense, but I think they neglected how that would affect the 7-footers. Didn't do a really good job of incorporating those guys, and when you've got Kobe getting his shots, that's a tough dynamic to work through. And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the board.
Well, the main thing is they haven't allowed many second chance opportunities. And that is always going to allow you to maintain your lead.
Here's a look at the schedule for the Los Angeles Lakers. When this game is done, they'll be off to Chicago as they take on the Bulls. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. We played just over 1 minute here in the 4th quarter. Here's Red Hot, launches it, and it's good.
Yep, he's their leading scorer, Kevin, in this game, and has been the dominant figure today. No doubt about it.
And for Sacramento, they're shooting reasonably well, 45%. All alone, throws down the breakaway jam.
The windmill finish. Now that's nasty. How do you do?
Finishes the play, utter disregard for his own safety.
Look at his teammates. They're just shaking their heads. I mean, he must have told them to look out for that one.
Another steal. They're running. Jumps up.
Good aggressive finish on the break.
That's as easy a 2 points as you could ask for.
Now here's Vasquez. Defense is right there. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
You always want a player to have his head up and to be surveying the court, but not if that's going to be the result.
And Mbah-a-Moute's checked in for Chuck Hayes. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Pass to Redhawk from deep. It's good, and it's Kobe with the assist.
When you're hot, you're hot. This is unbelievable.
Both loose. And it's the Lakers on the break. Here's Redhawk.
You got to have some guts and guile to take it to the bucket strong despite the big fella standing in the way.
Here's Vasquez. The dish to Outlaw. Will it go? Again, the miss by the Kings.
Now, normally that's a shot people make, but that's not really his bread and butter there.
Here's Redhawk. Rejected by Vasquez. Here's McLemore. Shot is no good.
Great defense in the paint there, making it tough on the offense.
That's what he brings, a presence. I mean, you saw it on that miss.
Gets it to go.
Well, he scored over half of their points so far. That's a major contribution.
For Sacramento, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Off his leg, and the refs whistling a kick ball. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for the Kings. Here's Patterson. He kicks to Outlaw. And it's off the back rim, no good.
Well, they'll give him that shot. He doesn't have the most reliable jump shot in the world. We know that.
Here's Redhawk. And that one's good.
And that bucket adds to what's been a big differential in points in the paint between these two teams.
Defensively, the intensity just hasn't been there. They've got to pick up the pace.
Vasquez, that's good. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
What a big-time mismatch it's been in the post. Where's the defensive adjustment? They're getting housed down there.
They sure are. You got to come up with something. A double team, maybe a substitution, but this is getting ridiculous.
And, you know, for the Kings, with the new ownership group, a new coach, a new front office, and a new downtown arena on the horizon, it's exciting times for the Kings fans. And a lot of newfound optimism around this team, too. Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
The feed to Outlaw. That falls. Great assist by Vasquez. Vasquez has got his 4th assist in this one. And the Kings, a team that experienced a period of great success in the 90s, back the late 90s and early this century. But they had undergone a 7-year playoff drought, and Steve, times had gotten pretty dire.
Well, there's a lot of change in the air in Sacramento this season with new ownership, new management, new coaching, and some young talent with Ben McLemore. So I think there's hope going forward for the Sacramento Kings.
They are wreaking havoc on them with the three-point shot here.
Lazy perimeter defense, Clark. You got to take the shooter's airspace away from him.
There's Redhawk. Beyond the arc. And another 3 for the Lakers.
He's just been the man since the start of this quarter. And just a tremendous period of basketball for him.
Tipped away. And he dunks it down. Just floating to the rim on that slam.
Boy, when he gets up, He gets up and stays up.
Boy, smooth and graceful. How about the hang time? That's impressive.
And here's Outlaw from the arc. Rebounded by Kamen.
Their rebounding has been off the charts today, guys. Reason number one, this game is out of hand.
Exactly. I mean, the score is right where you'd expect it to be when the battle on the boards is that lopsided.
Young passes to Red Hot. From the arc. Count that one.
I think they're trying to go for the kill here. I mean, they're starting to take a lot more three-point shots than they had done before, looking to run away.
Yeah, and that's fine as long as you're making them, but make sure you don't start launching bad shots. That's a problem.
And the Kings making a change here. Hayes is checked in. Vasquez with it. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Vasquez has got 6 points in the quarter.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
Here's Red Hot. Good.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
There's a minute 40 left in the game. Kamen kicks to Kobe. Lakers passing it around. Lets the three fly. And another three for the Lakers. 1:31 left in the fourth quarter. Vasquez with it. Now guarded by Red Hot. A leaner. And again, it's the Lakers.
This game's over, guys. I think we can say that with certainty.
Yeah, I agree with you there. We have officially reached garbage time.
Vasquez dishes to McLemore. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. There's Red Hot, defended by Vasquez. The shot's good from Red Hot.
They don't need much of anything else the way he's scoring the ball out there.
There's 53 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Jason Thompson is checked in for Sacramento. Outlaw comes in for Mbamute. This has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, they've done a really nice job of extending their lead, Kevin.
And the shot's good from Red Hot.
They didn't take their time wrapping this game up. They pretty much did it in a hurry.
Yeah, they had a nice spurt to polish this one off.
Vasquez kicks to Outlaw. He dishes it to Vasquez. Here's Hayes. Sacramento again missing.
Guys, that's a great piece of interior defending. I mean, he didn't back off of him one bit. Didn't give up any ground.
And that's what he does, Clark. I mean, he never lets himself get taken advantage of down there. Yeah, no way you can come back from this deficit.
Just not enough time left on the clock.
Poked away, and so it looks like the Kings will retain possession here. That'll be a 5-second call.
Boneheaded play, guys. Plain and simple.
Yep, brain fade is what I like to call it. There's no way they're getting out of the hole making mistakes like that.
And the pass to Red Hot. Fires the three. And another three for the Lakers.
They got to feel pretty good about this win tonight, guys. Defending their home floor.
Yeah, and just riding it out here now. I mean, they gave the fans what they wanted.
So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Red Hot.